We knew about Cape Town's famous mountain. We knew this region had a spectacular coastline. What we didn't understand was how much could fit in one day.
And somehow, this was all part of the same drive.
I'm Judy.
And I'm Kevin. Welcome back to Find Gina Marie, where we share our lives as full-time travelers and the connections we make along the way. We knew coming to Cape Town that we had to see some of the natural wonders. Table Mountain, Lion's Head, the 12 Apostles. They're beautiful sights that we've seen in videos, and we want to see them close up and in person. The problem is, Cape Town can have 4 seasons in one day, and the sunny days, even though it says it on the weather app, aren't where they're supposed to be.
So they're really unpredictable. And that made booking a tour pretty complex because we just didn't know, especially in winter, when would we get a nice sunny day. We were also backing up on the annual maintenance period where Table Mountain is closed for maintenance.
And they have days when the weather is just so inclement, you can't go up it. Frankly, I don't know how we got such a beautiful day. The sun was shining, there was no fog on the mountain, clouds weren't in our way, we had spectacular views.
Now, there are some people who choose to hike up the mountain, and I would think that that would make for a spectacular experience. But you know what else makes a really good experience? The cable car.
And the cable car up to Table Mountain was very unique. It's a round cable car, and they fit over 60 people in it. It had an operator inside, and the floor actually rotated. So no matter where you stood, you got a view of everywhere. You didn't just get stuck with that front view or the back view or the side view.
And there even is a part that doesn't have plexiglass, so you can get an unobstructed view for pictures.
For a few seconds.
If you're able to hike it, that's pretty impressive. The highest peak is 1,085 kilometers, and the views honestly are truly spectacular. This is the postcard version of Cape Town, and it absolutely delivers. In fact, it was named one of the new 7 natural wonders of the world, and I can believe it.
There are stairs to get to the cable car at the bottom and the top, but there's also elevator access. What do you think of the weather up here?
I actually like it. It is definitely crisp, but at the same time, it's just so beautiful that I just want to wrap myself in it. I'll get warm later.
Yeah. It's not as cold as we worried that it would be.
Timed this trip perfectly because as we were coming down from Table Mountain on the cable car, we could see that there was starting to be a little bit of fog rolling in. Now, maybe it was just going to pass us by, but we at least felt satisfied that we'd seen what we wanted to see.
The fog did add a little bit of moodiness to our trip down and really made us appreciate that it wasn't there on the way up.
Table Mountain was certainly one of the highlights of the day, but it wasn't the only one.
From our top vantage point, we could see Lion's Head and the 12 Apostles and the stunning coastline we were going to see later.
The 12 Apostles is a striking rugged mountain range stretching from Table Mountain to Hoot Bay.
Don't let the name confuse you. There's not really 12 peaks. There's more like 18.
Now, I thought we'd see the 12 Apostles better from Table Mountain, but the best view that we got was from Camps Bay. Camps Bay is often known as the Beverly Hills of Cape Town. Possibly that could be because of how closely the neighborhood's beaches, cliffs, and mountains all sit together, on top of being one of the more exclusive parts of the city.
In fact, anywhere where you see the stunning beaches or the stunning mountains, there's usually stunning prices for the homes.
This mountain on the western side of the Cape Peninsula is Chapman's Peak.
There's a road that twists and turns around it. It was actually closed for several years because it became unsafe. Now it's a toll road And it's been made much safer, although if I was driving this road, Judy would probably tell me to slow down all the time because she's not a big fan of the twists and turns.
Actually, it didn't bother me at all, surprisingly.
This road is carved into the mountainside. You can see it as you're going down some of the paths. There's actually a roof over some of the roadway. And parts where it wasn't covered, they have a lot of nets because there can be rocks falling and it can be a dangerous place. In fact, I think if there's too much wind, they won't even let you go on this road. It's just shut down completely.
So maybe like us, you're a little bit hungry now. The perfect place is to stop at Noordhoek. It literally translates from Dutch as North Corner. However, geographically it's situated in the southern part of the Cape Peninsula. So it's a little confusing. You would think it would be north, but it's not.
Well, they say it's because it's north of the southern area of Cape Town. So sure, relatively it's north.
This was a cute little town. It's touted as having the best coffee in Cape Town.
It really is great coffee. Very enjoyable. No sugar required.
For $5, we each got a cappuccino, which was quite good.
We also managed to score a vegan breakfast pie, which was big enough that we could share it.
And that was only $3. We find it's much easier to explore when our bellies have something in them and we're effectively caffeinated.
We were so eager to see the natural wonders, the mountains, the rock formations, the coastline. I don't think we expected to see so much wildlife.
I certainly didn't. In fact, we drove by a building and there was a baboon sitting on the windowsill.
Yeah, like looking in at the people.
And that wasn't the only baboon we saw. In fact, at one point, we were in the Cape Town Natural Reserve and
They stopped traffic.
because it was an entire family of baboons that were just hanging out.
And they weren't in a hurry. So the cars had to wait. In fact, if you want to see wildlife, just look for any of the traffic tie-ups where cars are slowed down and stopped, because there's probably something there that you need to see. An ostrich, a baboon, some other wildlife that just happens to wander near the road.
It's very dangerous for you and for the baboons for you to be feeding them. You should keep your windows closed and you should not try to go out and greet them either. But you'll see them alongside the road, and that's because some of their favorite flowers are there and they are just eating them like candy.
We didn't leave the road to see the wildlife. It kind of came to us. There was only 2 ostriches that we saw, and they seemed to be a male-female pair, so we had to get a quick shot of those. Off in the distance, there were other animals that we really couldn't get great shots of. But if you want to do camping or hiking in this area, you'll get to see a lot of the wildlife.
Including wild zebras, which we saw far off into the distance, but it's still very cool to know that they're there. On top of all of the wildlife, there were over 2,000 different plant species here. Apparently Cape Town didn't think mountains and ocean were enough, so it had to throw all of this incredible wildlife at us too. Now, don't be confused between Cape Point and the Cape of Good Hope. They're actually separate places. The Cape of Good Hope is the southwesternmost point of the African continent.
You can tell this is a touristy spot because there are a lot of people lining up to take pictures in front of the signs.
Although it's fun to be taking a photo next to the sign, I think the larger feeling comes from just realizing where you are geographically. The first explorer to reach this southern tip of Africa was the Portuguese explorer Diaz in 1488.
Because of all the trouble he had, he named this the Cape of Storms. And when he got back home, the Portuguese royalty said, yeah, we gotta have more sailors going down there, so we're gonna do some marketing spins and call it the Cape of Good Hope.
This was supposed to be a sea route to India. You need to sell it a little bit better than that.
You can see how it could be a very dangerous place for ships. Out in the distance, I thought there were whales. Turns out those were waves hitting rocks deep into the bay. Because this area is so wild and rocky, they needed a lighthouse in the past to make sure that sailors could actually navigate this area.
The one sitting at Cape Point Peak is actually the 3rd oldest lighthouse.
It's 400 meters up, and we did walk up there to get a close look at it.
So I guess the funicular just gets you to here, and you still have
Not a halfway spot.
a little bit to go, but it's not working, so it doesn't matter.
And there are benches and places to sit if you need to catch your breath. It was about a 15-minute walk, and it wasn't bad. There were a lot of steps, but it was doable. Conversely, I think that there are some sort of shuttles that you have to pay for that will also bring you along.
It's not that hard of a walk. Just don't try to rush up the stairs.
Yeah, take your time.
Yeah, it's nice.
We had almost an hour, and it really only took 15 minutes, and it's supposed to take us 10 to get down.
And that includes photographs. So
And avoiding either baboon or ostrich.
poop.
Sure.
Well, like it is.
And anytime you walk up a bit of height in this area, you're going to get these stunning views again. The coastline is magnificent, and on the right day, you can actually see whales at this point. We started this day looking down over a city. Now we're standing at the edge of a continent.
Simonstown was founded in the late 1600s, and it's a Navy port town. By now we'd worked up an appetite, and Cape Town's best and freshest seafood can be found here. So we went to Seaforth Restaurant. Now, sometimes when you're on a tour, some of the restaurants that you eat at are not so good. They're geared towards tourists and the food isn't so great, but that wasn't the case at Seaforth. We really enjoyed it.
And it was very generous helpings because I ordered the fish and chips and I thought, there's no way I'm going to make it through this.
And I had the fresh line caught fish, which was 2 good hunks of swordfish and a salad, and it was delicious. We ended up paying about $34. The Victorian buildings make it feel very distinct from the rugged landscapes that surround it. There's also an interesting maritime museum here if you wanted to check it out.
If you want to skip driving and take a scenic day trip to Simonstown, you can use the vintage steam train. It takes about 2.5 to 3 hours to get there, but it's a coastal journey, so you're going to see stunning views of the water and the coastline.
I think we can agree that we had a pretty nice day so far, but I wasn't expecting that just a 4-minute walk from Seaforth Restaurant was going to be the highlight of our day.
Penguins. How can you not love penguins? They're adorable.
When we first came up to this area, it looked like there were a couple of penguins, and I thought that maybe was all we were going to see. But then you look, and there's a whole bunch of them, and they're in the water and coming out of the water and playing, and just so many different personalities. I love it.
The more we walked, and I'm not saying we walked very far, then there were dozens of them, and it was absolutely incredible.
And you are on this walkway, and they are walking up underneath the walkway. So if you want to get a close-up shot of a penguin, not a problem at all. You don't have to have any fancy cameras for that.
Originally, I was concerned that this tour was going to have too much jammed into it, and we wouldn't be able to really enjoy ourselves, but I'm loving it so far. The amount of time we're spending with the penguins and how many penguins there are.
Well, that's just it. Going down this boardwalk, you see a penguin. You're like, oh, let's get a picture. And you get another picture of a couple. And then there's a whole bunch of them down there. And then there's babies just fluffing around. And
Yeah, it's been a really interesting tour. And right now, I couldn't be any happier with it.
Now, as you're going into this spot where you walk towards the penguins, there's 2 walkways, one that goes off to the right and one that kind of goes straight ahead. The one to the right has a lot of stairs, and you're really not getting as close to the penguins as you think you might. So stick to the one that's flat and straight, and you'll get the best view of all the penguins.
I couldn't help myself but just to tell people as they were walking and stopping, there's a whole lot more if you just keep walking a little bit farther.
Judy was like a little kid. In fact, she was talking to the little kids. If you like penguins, keep going. There's so many down there, not just these couple.
These are African penguins, and they are here all year long. Unfortunately, they're endangered as well, and it's one of the only 2 mainland penguin colonies in all of South Africa.
What's interesting is they didn't come from Africa, but they've adjusted to the climate, and they are just happy to be here. They never leave, so any time of year, you can actually go see them.
The boardwalk was built in order to prevent people from getting too close to the penguins, but I think you can see them as well as you need to, including even the fur on some of the babies before they've had a chance to build up their waterproof skin. Now, I'm not saying that this was our all-time favorite part of the day. It was just fun to see them frolicking and having a grand old time. And
I've never seen Judy have so much joy in my life, so I think it was probably her favorite part of the day.
I feel like you could just sit and watch them for hours and hours. They were so clever and interesting, and
all the personalities. You could tell the ones that were kind of going rogue and just wandering off. Where's he going? Up the hill.
It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining, and couldn't ask for too much more.
no, this has been wonderful. You plan these big tours, and you hope you get a nice weather day, and we've gotten a wonderful weather day. So Thank you, Africa.
I would say that Cape Town doesn't beat expectations by giving you one spectacular thing, though. It does it through all of this variety that we got in one day.
This wasn't one of our cheaper tours, but we did so much in one day. We saw so many different sites and got to be in so many different places. I think they packed so much in.
The tour cost us $444 plus tips. That's for both of us. Now, you could have paid a lot less and then gone ahead and paid for each of your tickets individually. We didn't do that. We went ahead and let the tour company pay for all of the tickets themselves. I don't think it cost us any more money, but it definitely saved us a ton of hassle.
Yeah, there were some people on the tour that were struggling to get their tickets, and I think that's because they were trying to do them individually.
We'll put a link down in the description for this specific tour. And although it's listed as a private tour or a regular tour, we did the regular tour. It was 20 people. It actually worked out well. I feel like the people that were on our tour were very interesting and fun to talk to. And the cost of a private tour, I think, is unnecessary.
And going to Cape Town without seeing all the natural beauty is a big mistake. So having a tour that makes sure you don't miss any of it is really worthwhile.
Initially, I thought that the scope of this tour was going to be too big and there was going to be too much to see, but I didn't feel that way at all. I was really glad that on a good day, we could capture all of this.
And that's the point. If you split up these tours into multiple days, you better be really lucky that they all turn out to be sunny.
We have a few more videos coming from Cape Town, so stay tuned for those. In the meantime, we think you'll enjoy hearing about our Morocco series, and you can catch that here.
Thank you so much for watching. The best compliment that you can give to us is to recommend our videos to your friends and family.
And remember to
Wander more,
worry less.
and bring a passport.
Until next time.
Until next time.